All right. What's up, Dunwoody? I'm Matt Weber. If you knew the show, this is a podcast about Dunwoody, Georgia. And today I'm here with Lauren Sock, Lindsey Amerson, and we're going to talk a little bit about Functionize Health and Fitness. New business, new this year. And so, just thought bring you guys on, say a little something about the business. And if you're, this is your first time watching it, I'm going to cram Village Orthodontics down your throat because that is our sponsor here in Dunwoody. This is the greatest orthodontist that there is. And so, this is a super awkward intro, but we'll just go on from here. So, Lauren, tell us, you're a resident here in Dunwoody, and now you've opened your business here. Why did you do it in Dunwoody?
Yeah, well, that was a great intro. So, as a fellow podcaster, you did a great job at that.
It's early in the morning. So.
So I am Lauren Sock. I own Functionize Health and Physical Therapy, which is a physical therapy and fitness practice right in the heart of Dunwoody. Most people know Moondog Growlers. I am in the building directly to the left of that. It's a one-story building that sits there. And so we moved in December of last year. So we're going on a year of being in that space. And I've been a physical therapist for, 23 years. And, we really realized that people need good physical therapy and good care, which it means like one-on-one care where they can come in and we're not just treating just an injury or a surgery, you're treating the whole body and looking at it holistically. And so it's really fun because we get to do what we love and the insurance companies are not telling us what needs to be dictated. They'll only cover, treating a knee, but really the issues, their hip or their low back. So we see, we're what we call a cash-based practice, meaning people pay up front and then they submit to their insurance.
And I loved in the video that I saw that you guys did, all the prices were written there behind the desk, behind the counter, all of the prices on the wall. That's very rare.
Yes.
And you go anywhere in medical.
Right. I mean, and that's the biggest thing with healthcare, the lack of transparency right now. We're seeing that, you go in and you don't even know what your bill is going to be. So we are very transparent of that. We love fitness, but our big push is community. And that's why I moved into Dunwoody, is that I live in Dunwoody and I wanted to build community. And so we love treating runners. We love treating endurance athletes or what we call the everyday athlete, because we say if you have a body, you're an athlete. And just like every athlete should perform at a high level, you should too. And so it doesn't matter what age you are. You just want to thrive and enjoy, your life at every stage. So, so we decided, it's been a little bit over a year. Lindsey and I got together and she said, hey, let's start a running group. We need to bring community together. And that's really what I think is, fueled my soul and helped people in the community realize that you don't have to be, a competitive runner. You can just get out and run, and we bring people together. And it's been great to see that growth that we've done.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like how you've invited the people in the Facebook group, that community forum. And it seems like you have a nice little group out there running. Every other week, 2 times a month. Is that what it was?
It is. Yes. I'll let Lindsey talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
I've lived in Dunwoody since 2017. What I learned quickly about Dunwoody is it's an active community. And as I was driving up and down Mount Vernon, I saw so many runners, no matter what time of day it was, who were running solo. And I saw an opportunity to gather all of us and try to run together. It's safer. It's more fun. It helps us get our social outlet in when we're busy professionals and parents. And so, Lauren,
it's accountability.
Of course.
Absolutely.
If you don't show up, your friends are going to give you a hard time about it.
Exactly. And in my long history with endurance sports, I never would have made it to the places I have without community. And so I saw that opportunity. And Lauren is a force. She can make things happen. We're both pretty type A, and we just decided, let's just do it. And initially we had a bunch of people who were, oh yeah, we'll help. And honestly, I think Lauren and I have really stayed true to our vision, and we've continued to show up and really help bring the community together. And we have runners of all levels. We have people who walk, run. We have people who race at really elite levels, and everything in between. And we all just come together, and it's really fulfilling to see everybody getting healthy together and doing something great for the community. So
yeah. It's a good way to build your business too, right, Lauren? It's like right off to the side. It's
That's
all
right
the
off,
same
yeah.
people. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, runners have injuries, or endurance athletes have injuries. So it's great to be there to help them and help them improve their running form. And, Lindsey's background is she's a running coach. So she's great at like programming our workouts. And so, one of the things we do, not just on Saturdays, where Saturday is what we call Run the Wood. But our group is called Dunwoody Roadrunners on Facebook and on Instagram. But we do a track workout on Wednesday mornings, and Lindsey programs that. And that is so much fun because you don't have to be, like she said, an elite runner. Like everybody's running and doing the workout at their own pace, but we're on the track and you feel safe and you're there and you're encouraging people. And that's like, I think one of the most fun things we do on Wednesdays. Wouldn't you say, Lindsey?
It's so much fun. And, it was great during the summer because it was light early. And now that it's gotten really dark in the morning, you feel like a bunch of crazy people out there. You should see some of the pictures we try to take in the dark. They're not good. But you also feel like the superpower of, I finished an 8-mile run and it's only 6:45 in the morning. And I did it with these other crazy friends of mine who love fitness and pursuing their best self. So the track workouts are amazing. You might see us running up and down the Vermac Hill outside of Dunwoody High School. There will be a bunch of us out there. In fact, I did it this morning. So just what we ask of the community is don't hit us, give us space, give us a friendly honk and a wave. But yeah, track Wednesdays are really fun.
Does sound like fun.
And we all have our headlamps, which makes it even more fun because you see these little lights like going around the track and you can see everybody as we're going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at your website, and Amanda Weir was one of your clients.
Yeah. She's a local
patients.
Atlanta
Olympian. She went to my high school.
Oh,
We're very proud of her. Yeah.
Yes, you should be very proud of it. Yes. Yeah, she was a client of one of my therapists. He was a swimmer at Alabama, and so
Lauren,
he loves working with swimmers. And so Amanda found him, and she came to him, and he really, really helped her. She did her last Olympic trials, didn't make her final Olympics, but he helped her get there and work through some injuries she was having. So that was pretty awesome to be able to work with somebody of that caliber and have her in our office. And she's such a great person.
Yeah, that's really cool. Nice.
Yeah.
And so how did you work that out with Big Peach, where they bring their shoes in? You're like a little showroom for them?
So, as Lindsey will tell you, like I am always pushing things. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask them. I just straight up went, and asked Mike Costantino, the owner of Big Peach. We actually had done a podcast with them. And afterwards I said, I think that there's like a gap in, the running world in terms of physical therapists helping people choose shoes, but also be able to run most efficiently. So I said, what if we had your shoes in the office where you could come and try on it's their top 10, premier shoes that we have in all sizes. So you can come in and you can try on the shoes, but then we film you and help you understand the best shoe that's comfortable, but also helps improve your running form. So you can try them on and then we help you decide. And then you go to Big Peach and buy them. So you're not buying them at our office. We just have the inventory to help you select that shoe. And it could be the difference between like somebody that's running, say, in a Hoka, which actually is a really low drop shoe, meaning a drop is the distance between, if your foot is flat on the ground, the height difference between where your toes touch the ground and where your heel touches the ground. So most running shoes have some sort of heel rise, meaning like it could be anywhere from a 0 drop, which is like an Ultra or a Vivo shoe. Those tend to be 0 drop, meaning there's no lift in the heel. Or you can get as much as like a 12 or 13 millimeter height shoe. And so we have those in all different heights. And so people can try them on and they'll see a huge difference in how they're running, and it might take stress off of their Achilles or their hamstrings or glutes. And, people, Lindsey, she is a cyclist as well. And, if you look at cycling, like a millimeter change in your setup can make a huge difference. And the same thing can happen with shoes. So we're not there to say like, you need the specific shoe. It's comfort and form. And then we film and compare you in different shoes. So it's pretty awesome.
That's cool. And you do golf assessments and swimming assessments? Where do you have space for all of this stuff?
So I have a team of 4 therapists. So we all do, we have Jake, who does our swimming. He also is certified in TPI, Titleist Performance Institute, golf assessments. And then the swimming and the running and, it's cool because we have people like Lindsey who, will help program workouts. So we can send people to her and say, okay, this person wants to, hit a PR in a race, and we can give them the strengthening and help with their form. But she really helps with the training plans and helps people to achieve that PR by sticking to a training plan. So it works really well together.
Okay.
And Jake, I'm going to add in, Jake swam in college at Alabama.
Yeah.
Right. So he knows a little bit about swimming. So and
yes.
He's just a really great guy. So she has an awesome team with her.
That's cool. And so you were in Decatur before this, right?
Yeah. So I originally opened in Decatur, and then shortly around that time, I actually moved to Dunwoody. And that's when I was like, all right, I've got to open it in my community and let people know what I like to say is like real physical therapy is, meaning like we get to use our hands with people. Cause what we learn in physical therapy school is how to use our hands to, we mobilize joints and soft tissue, but we also do dry needling and some other things. So like, but what happens in most traditional physical therapy practices is when the insurance dictates what you have to do, they actually reimburse you more to make people exercise. So we are forced to basically exercise people, but like you can do that on your own at home. So like I wanted people to come in and get the stuff they can't do on their own. And the dry needling part of it is huge, especially for these athletes. I mean, Lindsey's addicted to it. She's always like, I need a needle in my glute or in my hamstring, because it makes like a huge difference in your pain because it releases a lot of the tightness and lets you perform at a better level.
Yeah. And I like how you have individual rooms too. So you're not doing this in front of everyone.
Yes.
That would be awkward.
Yeah.
That would be awkward. Yes.
There's some strange places they might dry needle. So you want a little privacy.
You want a little
privacy.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Is that like acupuncture?
Same type. Yes. Yes and no. We use acupuncture needles, but we're putting the needle into a tight area or a tight muscle. And so, when people have knots in their muscles, maybe like their neck is really tight and there's a knot there, we'll put the needle into it and it releases that muscle and decreases your pain. It might improve mobility, but most people that come in, they'll see like a 50% reduction in their pain just through dry needling.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, Lindsey, you want to talk about like some of the dry needling we've done with you for, your hip?
Well, the first time that, I'll never forget the first time I had dry needling. I think it was with Lauren in like 2013. It was a very long time ago. And she was like, oh, I can help you. And she proceeded to just put all the needles in all the tight places. And I have a lot of tight places. So that was a lot of needles. And afterward, I felt like I was like 15 again. I could move my body in ranges that I never could before. Things didn't hurt. I actually went and did a track workout. I hit a bunch of PRs. So from that point on, I was like, okay, this really, really works. But, sometimes when you hit a particularly tight spot, your muscle will kind of spasm a little bit when the needle's in there. And it is not super comfortable. It doesn't hurt per se. It's just like, ooh. But it's so worth it afterward. You get that release and it brings am I right that it brings the anti-inflammatory mediators, like it induces inflammation, which then brings everything to heal that inflammation, which then produces change and healing.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. You said it so well. Yes. Yeah. So
she didn't put you on the spot or anything.
No, but
It's okay. I'm in healthcare. I can talk about
Yeah,
it.
she gets it. She gets it. But yeah, I mean, it's, there's a ton of research out there. Like if you check somebody's like vertical jump height, before doing needling, and then you do the needles to say the calf muscles and then do it again, and their vertical jump is significantly improved.
Wow.
So, it's, I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable treatment initially, meaning it shouldn't really be painful, but it's not comfortable because, as Lindsey said, like the muscle will do what we call a twitch, where it starts kind of spasming involuntarily, and that can catch people off guard with that.
Okay.
But yeah, but like for runners, I mean, if you're, really hurting and you need a quick fix, like it does fix it pretty quickly.
Yeah. I saw you do a bunch of weight training, weightlifting, like heavy weights. You said that even old people need heavy weights. I think you said it more eloquently than that, but
yeah. So, if we look at the research, the biggest predictor of how long we live is actually how much muscle mass we have. So if you want to, change a lot of factors in your body, like, autoimmune conditions, people with osteoporosis, obesity is an autoimmune condition. If you want to improve your immunity, your balance, risk of lots of things, including cancer, actually, building muscle mass is really the thing that's going to help change that and improve your trajectory in life. So we really focus on helping people get stronger through strength training. And we have classes for that, but we also, in my office, almost everybody, our goal is for them to deadlift half their body weight. So that doesn't mean, like, we have people at 75 years old that are deadlifting half their body weight because they realize, like, if you have somebody teaching you how to do it correctly, it's not hard. It's just you've never been taught and you've been scared because they're like, oh, you're going to hurt yourself. So, doing the strength training is just really important. And we have a machine called an InBody. And so we actually, what that does is it looks at what your skeletal muscle mass and your body fat mass is. So we track that. It's not about your weight. It's how much muscle mass you have. And then we give them the exercise program and track it over time so that they can actually see that they're building the muscle mass that they need. And that's because people love numbers, right? So the metric there helps them to see that. And they might be doing a workout program. I mean, a lot of people, they go to the gym and they just do it to check a box. And I'll say, well, how much weight do you lift? They're like, I don't know. I just grab the weights on the rack. And I'll, well, how much time do you do? I don't know. I just go till I get tired. I'm like, well, if you don't have a number, you don't even know what you're doing. So like, it's kind of pointless just to go to the gym.
That sounds similar to my workouts.
Yeah, exactly. But, some of the best thing, I mean, we talked about accountability, but so like one of the things, that every coach needs a coach. So Lindsey's actually my coach. And so she programs workouts for me, running, but also strength training. And that helps me in my goal to build muscle mass, but also to get stronger. But what's great is like, she knows, like, if I'm training for a race, how to modify my strength training specifically for that. But then in the off season, like, okay, now we need to put on muscle mass and get ourselves stronger. So that's really fun to like have her accountability of. So it's programmed through an app, and you go in and you can look at what is programmed there. And we do that for our clients too, not from an endurance athlete standpoint, but we do it more for strength training for our clients, where they can go into an app and actually have workouts programmed specifically for them
And do them on their own. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, Lindsey, what are your thoughts on strength training? I know every endurance athlete needs it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like historically endurance athletes are scared to lift heavy weights, like you were saying. And a lot of runners, especially in the past, you look at runners and they're so skinny. They had multiple stress fractures. They would have eating disorders and things of that nature. And I feel like it's started to switch. If you start to see the professional marathon women's runners now, they have a little more muscle mass, and they've been lifting weights, and they're posting about their weight training, and they're learning to lift correctly. And that bit of muscle mass is actually going to carry them through the back half of that marathon or that Ironman, because that muscle mass is critical for strength. And at that point, it becomes strength more than anything else. Not only that, but it helps keep them from being injured. So if you want longevity in endurance sports, you have to lift weights. And all the athletes I coach, that is non-negotiable. We lift weights. We do it twice a week at least. And it doesn't always have to be a lot. And like Lauren said, you have to periodize it. You can't be lifting the same all the time. You have to pull it back when you're in season, when you're peaking, and then put that muscle back on in the off season. So I think we got Lauren busy with the barbell last week, back into her barbell. And that feels good. It's nice too. You have to have a different focus for different parts of the season and really be smart about the way you train. So strength training is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Lauren, what's your perfect client, your perfect patient? Like, it seems like you kind of do all of them. You've got you're inviting kids in to do strength training, and you've got the older crowd.
Yeah, I would say, we work probably the most with like 30 to 65-year-olds. So it's people who are...
Which is good in Dunwoody.
It is. It's perfect in Dunwoody. So it's really like, a lot of like the families, husband and wives who have started to have their kids, and they're realizing like, okay, my body's not holding up. I want to be able to play with my kids. I want to, maybe run a race. You see a lot of women, who they turn to running after they have kids. And so just because it's easy, they don't have to think about it. They can head out the door, they can push the jog stroller. But then they do it and they've never run before, and now they have injuries. Right. But all the way up until, people in their retirement. And what we see with those people is they're looking at their aging parents and saying, I don't want to be like my parents and have be on medications or have had surgeries. I want to thrive and actually live better than them. So that's where we show them, we meet them at where they're at. We track their baseline. We actually have like we call it our 5-point checkup, but it's like an annual physical for your body. So just like you go to the dentist and you have your teeth cleaned every 6 months, we do that with our clients, where we actually look at like, how much can you lift? What is your endurance? How does your heart rate respond when you get on the treadmill and we increase your pace? Can you do basic things like squat properly? And so we can track that over time and show them like, are you declining or are you improving? And then let us meet you there and help you achieve what those goals are. So, but we do see, a good amount of youth athletes, and that population's actually growing. One of our therapists, she's a girls club volleyball coach. So she brings in a lot of her athletes. Jake, my other therapist, he sees a ton of swimmers. He works with one of the local swim clubs here. But I'd say, like everybody in Dunwoody is what we call our everyday athletes. So they can all use some form of therapy. And a lot of our people, I'll just say, don't come because they have an injury. They're doing it more proactively. So they might be the runner that, is running, but, they might have a nagging knee problem that they can run through, but they're just like, I don't want this knee to keep bothering me. What can I do now? And so it's a lot of those people that just want to get ahead of it and not be reactive.
Okay. Well, how do the people get in touch with you?
How do they get in touch with me? Well, we are on Instagram and Facebook as Functionize Health. It's functionizehealth.com is our website. And then, like we said, as far as the running group, we have Dunwoody Road Runners on Facebook and Instagram. And our Saturday morning runs are Run the Wood on the 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month. But if you follow along on those social media pages, sometimes we change the times depending on like if it's getting colder out, we'll change the time of some of the runs because it's just people won't come out super early. But normally they're at 7:30. And then we'll move it to 8 during the winter time. And then obviously we said Wednesdays come out for our track workouts. That is usually anytime between 5:15 and 6 people get there. And we have it all posted.
That's
morning. Yes. In the morning. Yes. But we have some fun things, we all just trained for the PNC 10 miler. And that was really fun because we did 10 weeks of training and had different events for that. And then we'll have a costume run on the 29th. And so that is so people are going to run around Dunwoody in costumes. So you never know. You might see like a banana or a lion or something running at you. But yes, so we have all the outlets to find us.
Nice.
And Lindsey,
Lindsey?
I was going to say.
How do people get in touch with you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram at LA Endurance. And then I post a lot on the Dunwoody Roadrunners Facebook page. Or you can email me at laendurancetraining@gmail.com.
Okay.
And she's an
thanks for
awesome
coming on.
coach. She's an awesome coach. So,
Yeah.
she has helped so many people in Dunwoody hit PRs or at least run their first half marathon or marathon. So it's fun to see those people that she's training.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks, ladies. You guys have a good day.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
No problem.